What is going on, everybody? I am back. I told you I'd do more content, but it's not going to be on anything of mine. It's going to be on a ski that I just had the pleasure of working on. It's a buddy of mine. He just picked it up, and he's been dying to get a turbo ski. He had some bad experiences with a 2022 RXTX. He did a 142 wheel kit on it, cam. I did all the work for him, and it wasn't anything mechanical. It was definitely something in the tuning that just never would work right. It was absolutely nothing mechanical because I've done, my ski, a couple other skis on those same kind of kits or 135 wheels. Either way, they all worked and went way faster than his with the 142. So he rage quit and he sold it. He had a lot of money tied up in that ski and sold it for like super cheap. So whoever got that ski and got the ECU figured out on it, man, you got a hell of a deal. But he just picked up a really cool ski, and this is beautiful. 2014. RXPX260, and man, that black just shines. I really wish that Sea-Doo and these jet ski manufacturers would go back to, sorry for the plane and going overhead, freedom. I really wish they would go back to these traditional fiberglass gel coat, because man, when that gel coat is cleaned up, and especially on the black, man, it just looks amazing. But cool thing about this ski, got a turbo on it. I'm not exactly sure the size on it. He said it was a 58 maybe, not really sure. I don't really care. This is a lot more than what I want, but he's got to get, it had a PT 1500 precision intercooler on it. Previous owner took it off. Took all the boost pipes off of it. I don't blame him. They're very expensive intercoolers, so we're going to put a fizzle on it, get some pipes ran on it, and yeah, it's really nice. It actually has a resonator down there on the exhaust, all stainless steel, water jacketed. Still has to get the wastegate dump plumbed as well and run back there. So yeah, really nice. Running on Motec 150. Has a race port Turbo Smart blow-off valve, just got it tucked down there for now. Has a Riva 1503 billet aluminum intake on it, and then it is a 1503 engine, but it's got the Ace motor, coil packs, and the valve cover on it. If you guys know anything about Sea-Doos, it's pretty common practice for that to get upgraded on there because the coil packs are better. Riva handlebars, or sponsons on it. And everything works as should on here. With the Motec, you can see, oops, knocked the key off. You can see the VTS. It actually does work. I know you don't hear it, but it does work. I could go into override and show you, but let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. Pretty badass. I like it a lot. But yeah, he brought it to me at he wanted to put a new carbon seal on it just in case. Pulled the old one off and it actually looked brand new, but we went ahead and went with the newest kit available. And there's a little drama around that. But I did that, did the engine alignment on it just to make sure everything was good to go. And this thing, the engine alignment was way off. Way off. They had like 3 of the thickest spacers for the front mount. I had it way raised up in the front, so it's tilted like that, and pulled those out of the front, put one on either side in the rear. Engine alignment, muy bueno now. So but like I was talking about the carbon seal thing, I don't know how much you guys follow Sea-Doo and their parts and the carbon seal for years, and I've only been fucking around with jet skis for like 3 years, right? But everything I've always heard is they're constantly revising it. They got a new manufacturer to do it. They changed the formula on it, blah, 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 whatever. So I bought a new carbon seal kit for this one and was told at the local dealership, I was like, hey, that seems a little more expensive than normal. They're like, oh, yeah, it's a new part number. It's been completely, it's been revised, changed the part number. and the price went up on it. I'm like, huh, okay. So I went online, I left from there. That just didn't sit right with me. And I go online, I start looking it up. And typically, if you go to like Riva or any of these other websites, they will, even if they don't have the most up-to-date part number on there, typically the price reflects what the actual price is for the newest revision part number, okay? But everywhere I looked, it said $85.99. I even talked to a buddy that worked at a dealership and just asked him what the carbon seal kits are for the skis, and he said they're $85.99. But I didn't give him the part number. So I made a post in a local group saying, hey, look, you know, it seems like the dealerships that were charging for retail parts, like how is this, or OEM parts, how is this possible? And I had to go back to the dealership this morning, get a couple of nuts, and talk with the service manager there. And we actually, you know, looked through their computer. I called Riva, talked with Jen over in the parts department there, and you know, we kind of figured out what it is Sea-Doo has come out with another carbon seal kit. The 205 is the latest one, but the 204 that I've been buying recently, and what I have on my boat, my ski, every other ski that I've worked on in the past 2 years that I've done one on it, I have put basically, you know, the 204 and the older ones on it. So now the 205 kit doesn't really make any sense because it's more expensive. And when you look up in the part diagrams or what vehicles it goes on, it has it labeled for like a 2016 to 17 RXTX 300. I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense. Just for you guys to kind of understand, the carbon seal kit, what matters is the shaft diameter on the drive shaft, right? So, for instance, this boat has a 215 engine in it that was essentially an 0405 engine in it. Drive shaft on them was always the same, right? This boat has a 204 carbon seal kit in it, which is the same one that is in that ski. But that ski originally had a 196 in it, and I'll show you what that looked like. So this is the 196 carbon seal kit with the PTO bellow that came out of my 300. This is the carbon seal kit, which looks like a 196 that came out of the 260 out there. This is a PTO bellow from a 204, and it's the exact same bellow out of the 205. So when I got the 205, I compared the bellow. It was the exact same thing. I compared the actual carbon ring to both of these, and they were identical. I saw no difference in anything. So I'm kind of confused why Sea-Doo like changed the part number all of a sudden. It doesn't make any sense. But either way, this 260 now has a 205 kit on it. So it brings me back to my original statement that as long as you have a supercharged, a 215 and up, the drive shaft diameter is the same all the way from 04 to even the 2022, 2023s that are going to come out. The drive shaft diameter is the same, and that's essential because that's what the floating ring goes over, right? So, you know, I just worked on a 2022 GTX a couple weeks ago. We put a new carbon seal on it. It's got a 204 kit on it, right? Works perfectly. And again, this 2014 now has a 205 kit on it, so it doesn't matter. But the main difference here is the 205 kit is about, I think it's like $10 or $11 more expensive, maybe $9, I'm not sure. It's about $10, right? So you can still get the 204 kit though. It hasn't been discontinued. It's still orderable. So I don't know. I don't know if Sea-Doo is put out the 205 kit and that's going to be the new one, and they're just waiting to sell out of all the 204s before they show the 205 as the superseded part number that'll be in everything. I really don't know. That would be the only thing that I could fathom at this point. But you know, in their infinite wisdom, they decided to do some other kind of weird part number. But yeah, guys, I don't know. So you know, just tip from me: if you've got a supercharged ski 215 or above from 04 on, you can run the 204 or the 205 kit. The 204 was the superseded over all the other ones, and then I don't know, it's just it's very strange the way they do this stuff. I could write up a whole blog post about it, about the variations and this ski and that carbon seal kit and why they changed that. It doesn't matter. Run a 204 or a 205 in any of the 215 and above skis, you're not going to have any problem with it. So, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like the video, you know, give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll be back with you guys soon with a little bit more content. See ya.